Welcome. This is a quick introduction to LandViz. LandViz is a web tool to help managers and researchers view the output from LandViz 2, a forest simulation model, and be able to quickly compare different scenarios of climate and management. With just a few clicks, users can choose from a list of climate change or management scenarios, in this case, baseline climate and climate change, attributes of interest. In this case, I'm going to choose Acer rubrum or red maple, and a disturbance of interest. In this case, wind severity. Once you hit the load button, you can see the maps displayed. In the case of wind, there wasn't any wind at time 0, but you can adjust the year that's displayed by using the top bar. Anyway, you can notice that the maps are overlaid on Google Map backgrounds, that they're side-by-side windows, and the windows are synchronized for zooming both in and out, and that they pan together as well. You can also filter them to remove any values that you don't want to see. Map color legends can be adjusted both in terms of the values and the colors. Let's go to blue. You can also add new breakpoints by double-clicking next to the bar, adjusting them, or you can remove them by double-clicking on the arrow. You can also display charts or graphs. Going up to the chart function, here let's display precip, and then hit the load button, and you should see a graph pop up. You can hit the play and pause buttons to animate and freeze the maps and charts as you wish. In this case here, the model only produced output every decade. So you can click on this gear shift and click the box that says snap to greatest common interval, and then when you hit the play button, you'll animate through the maps much more quickly because it will only go through the maps every decade. So that's all there is to learning LandViz. I hope it's a useful tool for you, and it's useful for helping you really quickly and easily see different model output from LandViz. Welcome. This is a quick introduction to LandViz. LandViz is a web tool to help managers and researchers view the output from LandViz 2, a forest simulation model, and be able to quickly compare different scenarios of management and climate change. With just a few clicks, a user can select from a list of climate change scenarios or management scenarios, attributes of interest. For example, here I'm going to choose Acer rubrum or red maple, and I'm also interested here in the damage by wind, so I'm going to check the base wind severity. And then after you hit the load button, you can see the maps displayed. In the case of wind, there wasn't actually any wind in time 0, but you can adjust which year is displayed using the bar up here. And now you can see that in year 10 there indeed was some wind storms that took place. Notice that the maps are overlaid on OpenStreet map backgrounds, that the windows are side by side. You can see the 4 scenarios here, and that they're synchronized. So when you zoom in or zoom out, when you pan, and also when you adjust the color ramps here. You can adjust the map color legends in several ways. So you can not only move them, but you can adjust the color. For example, if you click on there, you can switch to blue. You can also add breaks by double-clicking next to the bar here. and you can remove them by double-clicking on the triangle. You can also look at charts or graphs. So you click on the chart button, and here I'm going to click PPT, which stands for precip, and then load it. And you can see here a graph of precipitation with the two different climate scenarios. And that's where this play and pause button comes in. So you can play the video over time and see how your maps change over time. In the case of this one, the model was only run every decade. So you can click on the gears, go to where it says snap to greatest common interval, and click that box. And then that will allow you to only cycle through every 10 years. And so the animation will go much quicker. That's all really there is to learning LandViz. We hope it's a useful tool for you and that it allows you to quickly and easily view the output from LandViz 2. Welcome. This is a quick introduction to LandViz. LandViz is a web tool to help managers and researchers view the output from LandViz 2, a forest simulation model, and be able to quickly compare different scenarios of management and climate change. With just a few clicks, users can select from a list of climate change or management scenarios. In this case here we have baseline climate change. Select attributes of interest. Here I'm going to select Acer rubrum or red maple, and also a disturbance, in this case wind, so I can look at wind severity maps. And then you can just click on the load button, and as you can see, it loads the maps. In the case of wind, there wasn't any wind at time 0, but you can use this bar here to adjust which year is displayed, and as you can see, in year 10 there was some windstorm events. The maps are viewed side by side for the different scenarios. You can see here this is baseline climate, climate change, baseline climate, climate change. But the real value of the tool is that everything is synchronized. So you zoom in or you zoom out, you can pan, and you can adjust the color legend here, and they remain synchronized. You can do several things with the legend. For example, you can add breakpoints by double-clicking. You can remove some of the breakpoints by double-clicking on the triangle, and you can adjust the colors just by clicking on them and switching, for example, to blue. You can also view charts or graphs, so you click on charts and go to, in this example here is PPT, precipitation, and then load that, and you can see a graph of precipitation over the next century. You can use the pause and play buttons to view the graphs and maps over time here. So you're playing through over time. You can see the bar changing. But in this case here, the model was only run every 10 years. So you can hit this button where it says snap to common greatest interval. It'll cycle through every decade much quicker. That's really all there is to learning LandViz. We hope it's a useful tool for you so that you can really quickly and easily compare model output from LandViz 2.